Welcome back, True Seeker. One more video on the Minnesota Miracle. Another play that proves professional sports are scripted, no different than the WWE. In this video, what we're going to talk about are the parallels between the two players involved in what's now being called the Miracle. Number 43, Williams of the Saints, who missed the tackle, and number 14, Diggs, who made the touchdown. We're also going to talk about how this football game is synced up with the Minnesota Timberwolves basketball game tonight. Again, for years we've been proving how all of sports are scripted together, how it's all rigged, pre-planned performances, no different than a theater stage play, no different than a TV sitcom or a movie. In the same way there's writers for all of those things scripting episodes together, the same is true of the world of sports. So, if you're new here, we talk about gematria. The word miracle, using the alphabetic order, M13, I9, R18, A1, C3, L12, E5. You put it together, 61. It was a 61-yard miracle, as they're calling it. Let's start with Stefon Diggs, number 14, who caught the winning touchdown, because number 43 didn't even try to tackle him. Think about it. Number 14 on the 14th day of January scores the touchdown that wins the 14th game of Minnesota's season. So in gematria, Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 93. The city's on the 93rd meridian. That's a very special number in this study. Huge number. Number we talk about all the time. Think about how they tell you the sun is 93 million miles away. Out of the planets, the only one that sums to 93 is Saturn. Saturn is the keeper of time. To the ancients, Saturn was the most distant planet, the sixth from the sun. The word time has gematria 47, and today is Diggs' 47th day of being his age. His birthday is November 29th. He was born in 93. Today's his 47th day of his age. This was a very special day in time for him, and this is probably going to be the biggest, accomplishment of his sports career. So that's the 93 piece. He's born in 93. He's born on November 29th, 11/29, the 333rd day of the year. Football in gematria equals 29. It's a game of 11 on 11. In numerology, 29 is 2 plus 9 is 11. Here he is, number 14. The halftime of the Blazers-Timberwolves game, we can just see this right here. Trailblazers had 43 points at halftime, like how 43 missed the tackle against Minnesota. Timberwolves had 57 at halftime, a difference of 14 points. And this is also the Vikings' 57th season. So anyway, final score was 24-29, 53 combined points. Today has 53 date numerology. The name Stefon Diggs equals 53. So does Vesica Piscis, which is the shape of the football, shaped from sacred geometry. His full name, Stefon Marshawn Diggs, also has gematria of 101. They're advancing to Philadelphia 101. I said in week 3 the Eagles would be 10-1 this year, and I said they were my favorite to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. You know who I said might make it if I'm wrong about the Eagles? The Vikings. And why did I say that? Because of what happened to Denny Green last year, the day before they opened up US Bank Stadium. Denny Green was murdered 155 days after his birthday. US Bank Stadium equals 155. They opened the stadium the next day to the fans. Denny Green also died 52 days before the Vikings season opener last year. Minnesota equals 52. They're hosting Super Bowl 52. Again, dead the day before they opened the stadium to host. Notice Philadelphia also has gematria 61. Talked about this yesterday with Alshon Jeffrey having 61 yards. Julio Jones having 101 yards, the leading receivers for each team. Alshon Jeffrey signed that $52 million contract this year. So this Diggs guy, his birthday is November 29th, 93. That's a date with numerology of 133. Minnesota also has gematria of 133, like football. The top 4 seeds this year were 13-3. You know, add 13 together 4 times, you get 52. Best record in football. Like a deck of cards. Card game in gematria equals 52. You know, his birth numerology is also 152. He has both of these numbers in his birth numerology. 152 is interesting because now they're going to Pennsylvania to play. Pennsylvania 152, Pennsylvania 53. Again, Stefon Diggs 53, Vesica Pisces. The winningest team in the NFL, the Steelers, who were once merged with the Eagles, the Steagles. This is how it is in all of the world of sports. We're showing the same scripting year after year. And how they cross from NFL to NBA to MLB to NHL. It's all scripted together. And these players are born and bred to be. It is undeniable. I continue to say this and people continue to laugh and mock when all the evidence is on my side. It's not a coincidence that this guy's numbers are perfect for this moment. He was born for this moment. He's been raised like a cattle all of his life. All throughout the world, people are being farmed for positions. And it's not just going on in athletics. They're farming politicians. They're farming actors. They're farming porn actresses, as I proved with the death of August Ames and some of these other women we've looked at. People are being farmed, you know, for the entertainment world, for the big stage. You guys wonder how they have these people on lockdown? These people are controlled. So now let's look at the defender that screwed it up. Marcus Williams was crying after the game, and I can't tell you how many times somebody's commented, how could it be fake if these guys cry about losing? Understand, these people are paid like actors. Actors know how to cry on command. That's just a fact of life. Also, another real thing is MK Ultra. And when you're an MK Ultra victim, which a lot of these professional athletes who are farmed from a young age probably are, when you're MK Ultra, you are somebody else's puppet, literally, and you can be controlled remotely. Read about MK Ultra. That movie they put out, Get Out, that movie's about MK Ultra, which is a real thing. You know, the work of this government that controls these sports leagues that are used to distract the manpower. So anyway, Marcus Williams was crying after the game about his missed tackle. Actor, MK Ultra. It's one of those two things, if not both. You know, these guys are paid tens of millions of dollars. You know what these guys do in college? What do they all do in college? They don't go to class. They practice their sport. And what's the other thing they all do in college? All their free time is spent in media relations, learning how to be in front of the camera. That's what they do, college athletes. They don't go to class. Anyone who's gone to college knows these guys don't show up to class. They might come to class one day out of the year. Oh, man. I remember the day Terrell Suggs came to my economic class. I was at Arizona State while Terrell Suggs was there. The teacher made a big deal about the day he showed up to class. And it wasn't just him that came. Other players from the football team came to economic class that day. Quarterback Jeff Cron. Forget who else was on that team. But the teacher said, oh, look who came to class today. The one day they came all semester. You know? So anyway, here's the defender who screwed it up. Marcus Allen Williams. And you know who else has the middle name Allen? Gary Allen Anderson, whose name equals 98 in gematria, who had the perfect season in the year 98. This is the 98th season of the NFL. Look at this dude's birthday, September 8th. Just like Pink, who just got put in to sing the national anthem to close out the 98th season for the Super Bowl. 98th season, 9/8 birthday. You know what else is interesting? In the last video, I showed the big riddle with Jesus. Jesus equals 61, like cross, like church, like Christmas, like Christian. September 8th is said to be the Virgin Mary's birthday, you know. Jesus Christ equals 43. This guy wears number 43. 43 is the 14th prime number. 43 and 14 involved in the play. Add those numbers together, 57. This is the Vikings' 57th season. Super Bowl is connected to 57. Vikings are hosting the Super Bowl in their 57th season. But anyway, his birthday, September 8th, Vikings has gematria of 98, so does New Orleans Saints. They're one of a handful of teams that have the 98 connection. Like I showed opening week, the opening game of the season was New England Patriots, Kansas City Chiefs. Two of the only teams with 98 connections. Two of the only other ones are the Vikings and the Saints. The LA Rams were another team. Had a good year. But this was the Monday night game to open the season. This was the Thursday night game. And remember, Monday night it was number 9 versus number 8. Sam Bradford was still the QB. Drew Brees, number 9. See how scripted it all is? Farmed, planned, birthed, scripted. This guy's name's Marcus Allen Williams, gematria of 66, like NFL equals 66. The first Super Bowl season was the 66th. The reason why is if you add 1 through 11, it equals 66. 66, the 11th triangular number. Football, a game of 11 on 11. If you missed the earlier video about the Jesus connection with 61, again, in the Bible there's 318 mentions of the return of Jesus. The Vikings had 318 passing yards, ending with this, the miracle reception. So, help spread this work, help share this work. People who don't get it are... The people who don't get it, you guys, and I just got to make this point. The people who don't get it are what the scripters of this league call goyim. The people who run this league and operate by this code are the false Jews, the Zionist Jews. They own all of media. They own all of entertainment. They own all of these sports leagues. They go by the Talmud. In the Talmud, it says somebody who's a non-Jew is a goyim. A goyim is not considered a human being because a goyim is too dumb. In the Talmud, it talks about how dumb goyim are 1,000,000 times over. And it says goyim are a slave race. They're meant to be lied to. The only purpose of their existence is to work so the Jew doesn't have to. They mock the fans this hard with the rigging. And this might be the worst mocking yet, but it just gets worse every year. I said this last year after Super Bowl 51. Super Bowl 51 was the greatest mocking in the history of sports to date. And I said just watch. Next year, it'll probably be something even more blatant. And just wait till next year. Next year, it'll be something even more blatant. Every year, the mocking is so thick and people don't catch on. This is what it says in the Talmud. It says this is how dumb the goyim are. They're animals. When you go out in the backyard with your dog and you're a little boy maybe or a child and you learn that you can fake throw the ball and the dog will run and you laugh real hard because you're thinking, man, the dog's so dumb. He doesn't realize that I didn't even throw the ball. That's exactly how the Zionist Jews see the goyim. They keep throwing this, fake pass, this bullshit out there, and the goyim chases. The goyim doesn't learn. Goyim, you can do the same trick to him all day, just like you can do it to the dog in your backyard. It's no different. I don't support these people, but I know these people are right, and I expose these people. I expose these people. And like I always say, the only people I hate more than them are all the sheep who can't see through them. The sheep are the only reason these people are able to carry on and continue to do what they do. Because the people are just so dumb. You think people are going to be filling up the stands next week at the conference championship games? I guarantee you they're going to be sold out. How pathetic are these people? They're going to continue to give their money back. They're going to continue to go buy $10 hot dogs and $15 beers. Just giving up all their money for the rigged sports game. How bad is it? How bad is it when I'm here every year calling the championships before they even happen, showing how they're all scripted by the code. My predictions keep landing, college and pro. And people still think it's all a coincidence. It's all written in the Talmud. If you don't think they can script sports, you don't think that they can make a TV episode. It's impossible. How could anyone ever plan a TV episode for a year in advance? How can you make 3 Star Wars movies and have them all connect? It's impossible. It's pretty much what my critics are saying. My critics are sad people. Till next time, truth seeker.